Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy AI Legends, and today I shall be uploading the next part of What If Naruto was the reincarnation of Ano's voldigoad. Well guys, many people were demanding this series. Sorry for not uploading in this time because my cell phone got broken. So I had to make it repair and all that time got wasted. So I shall try my best to upload the next part today so that I can end the series as quick as possible. But who knows? So if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, then it would be a favor to me if you guys do so because it will help me a lot. And thanks guys for 4,000 subscribers. I really appreciate that. And I want to reach 10,000 subscribers on my both channels as quick as possible. So it would be a great favor to me if you guys are not subscribed. So please guys subscribe. So without any further ado, let us start our video. But before starting this video, I have make an Instagram ID. So it would be helpful for me as well as for you guys in the future if I ever lost my channel or things like that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, if you guys have an ID on Instagram, it would be a favor to me. So without any further ado, let us start our video. Well guys, in this series I have thought about a lot what to do in this series because this character is quite OP. There is no chance whatsoever these people can actually do against him. But I will try my best to make it a good ending, even though I don't think that in this series there will be a happy ending or things like that, but let's just make it. So without any further ado, let us start our video. Last time we left off at the Chunin exams where Menma and Mito fought against Naruto like all the series, but this time Naruto got so angry as he used his demonic powers, showing everyone how outclassed these people actually were, as Menma as well as Mito were wrapped into the hell chains as Kushina was trying her best so that she could save her children, as Naruto just simply smirked as the hell chains pulled both of the arms, or you can say one arm of each. Menma and Mito were ripped off of their bodies as they were bleeding from their arm. I do remember that I said that their legs as well, but I want them to fight in a certain future, so only their arms, each arm, were ripped apart as their arms were pulled into the chains as the hell gate was closed, as Hokage as well as Kushina entered into the arena. They were angry as well as scared at the same time. They could not believe that Naruto was supposed to be a failure, nothing but more than a failure, but Naruto's power seems to be far stronger than anything they have ever seen in their whole life, as Naruto was releasing bloodlust as well as power was radiating from his body, shocking as well as scaring most of the people that were there. While on the other hand, Hokage was sweating, knowing the great power of the Demon King Ano's voldigoad, as his power was great. So he was sweating in this time as Minato said, "What? How can you this strong?" As Naruto said, "Well, you have finally made an enemy out of me. Now it's time for you guys to regret it." As before Naruto could do actually anything, as Hokage entered into the arena and said, "Naruto, please, I do not want this to happen. I know that these people are not worth it, but please, for me, just give them one chance." As Naruto looked toward Hokage and said, "Well, I gave them plenty of chances and they have blew it away all this time. And you know my power. You so-called shinobis, you are nothing to me. I can kill you off anytime I want." As Hokage was sweating in this time, as Naruto had a great idea in his mind, because I know that the personality of Ano's voldigoad, he do get angry, but he does not lose his cool that much. But in the last part, I did make him lose his cool, but you can say that now he's quite calm because he has already saved Shion, as he smirked and said, "Alright, I give you guys one more opportunity. But after this, there will be no opportunities and you guys shall pay dearly." As Naruto started to fly into the air, shocking most of the people, as most of the shinobis who were there were sweating as well as they were, you can say, scared out of their minds. As Naruto said, "Well, alright, I'll be leaving now. But you guys, if ever try to do anything against me, you guys shall pay dearly." As Naruto, as everyone saw that how Shion also started to fly, as then Naruto and Shion went off, while on the other hand everyone was utterly shocked. Menma and Mito was screaming in pure pain as Minato and Kushina quickly took both of them to Tsunade, as Tsunade started to heal both of them. Most of their bones were broken, their body was shattered, mostly their brain was damaged, as Menma and Mito were screaming. As for Minato and Kushina, they were both angry and scared at the same time. As Jiraiya said, "What? How could this happened, as they were quite shocked. As then the invasion began, as you know, Orochimaru was there. As he saw everything, he was sweating in this time, knowing there is definitely no way that he could actually take on Naruto Uzumaki, as Naruto is going to kill him no matter what. As he saw the great power of the Demon King, and he is not fool enough to take him on. As far invasion finally began, as things started to play out the same, invasion still fails because Orochimaru did not have enough power in the first place. As for Minato and Kushina, both of them are mentally broken right now, but still Third Hokage was there. So he finally sacrificed his life and sealed away the arms of Orochimaru as well as first and second Hokage away, as Orochimaru finally flee, while on the other hand Minato as well as Jiraiya, all of them were quite broken, so they were not able to fight at their best. While on the other hand things started to play out smoothly for now. Now we switch to Naruto, as Naruto right now is in the land of demon, as Shion asked Naruto if he really wants to destroy Konoha, as Naruto laughed and said, well, destruction is one thing, but just remember, before any great creation, it comes destruction. As for me, I do not kill people for fun, but only if it is quite necessary. As Shion nodded at that, understanding the great concept of it. As for Naruto, as he said, well, I have explored this land and it does not seem to be as good as the land of fire or other lands. So what is the main reason? As Shion explained that even though she's a princess or a priestess in this land, but they does not have a lot of money, and with Konoha the deal they made, even though it was mostly benefit to Konoha, but still they were going to get a huge profit out of it, but it does not seem that is going to happen. As Naruto nodded at that and then said, well, it is time for this land to improve and I shall help you do so. As Shion's eyes brightened up as she said, really? Will you help me? As Naruto nodded at that and said, well, trust me, it will be great. As Shion smiled and then Naruto nodded at that. And now Naruto is right now in the land of demons at the border of the land, as he already know what is about to happen, as the war shall come and is waiting for it, or you can say mostly expecting it. As Naruto then quickly made hand signs and then slammed his hand into the ground and said, the land of creation, as suddenly the building started to rise as the ground started to change. The land of demon structure was mostly that of, you can say, not that of field. Now how to put it, the crops and all those things started to, the land became more like that, minerals and all, as the land finally started to prosper a lot, as the all things started to improve in the land, as all the things that were in land of demons started to grow, you can say, as for gold, diamonds, those type of things. As Naruto started to support the land because he wanted to improve the land which Shion, as Shion was quite excited to see all of this, as Naruto made a castle out of nowhere, from the small castle to a big one, the land of, you know, the demon castle of Anos voldigoad, the same castle that was there. As for Naruto, you can say the situation of the land of demon finally started to improve a lot. Their import as well as export started to increase thousands of times, as the land of demon improved so much, and as it you can say it even surpasses the hidden leaf village or other villages, as well as it started to become a shinobi village, as Naruto started to teach different spells and things like that. Or should I put it, because in the future I don't think that there will be much left. Now let us go to Akatsuki's base. In this time Akatsuki was being prepared, as they heard information that this soul, Jinchuriki, Naruto Uzumaki, has left the village as well as its great power, as Pain as well as Obito. Obito was the one who was mostly, you can say, now how to put it, scared a little or things like that. As for Pain, he was quite confident, you know, the Rinnegan and all, that how he's a god and all, as he was quite confident. If the need arise, he is able to kill off Naruto, while on the other hand, they does not need Naruto. After all, he does not have the chakra of the 9 tails, but still, they are going to need a lot of work to do. As the time started to pass, now 7 months has passed, but in this time, the land of demon became the most prosperous nation out of all nations, even though it was small, but its land started to explore a lot, as well as its import and export, the buildings, new society, as well as technology was introduced in the land of demon. It even, you can say, dissolved the land of snow with it. as all the villages, the hidden villages started to notice this nation has started to prosper so much, while on the other hand, in this time, Melma and Mito were given the same arm that Naruto got after the war arc because Tsunade was there, and all of them were quite angry. And now we got to the Hidden Leaf Village, as it was a council meeting, as well as Melma and Mito that were there, as Jiraiya and all the council members were there. As one of the council members stood up, Minato, we have found out that demon has went to the land of demons. As one of the other civilians stood up and said, yeah, where else will he go? After all, that is the land of demons. I told you, we should conquer that land and destroy everyone there. As Minato said, well, I do not think that we can actually take him on. As one of the council members said, what? You're Hokage, you're the Yellow Flash, you have killed off 1000 shinobi. How can you say that? As Minato was sweating, he knows the great power, as well as there is no one who can actually take on Naruto. As Jiraiya said, don't worry Minato, I am training in this time and we shall train for 1 year, and I truly believe that Menma and Mito, the child of prophecy, will kill off the demon. After all, the prophecy said that the child of prophecy will save the world. As Minato smiled and said, yes, my Menma and Mito will kill off that demon. As Kushina said, yeah, how dare that demon to hurt my Menma and Mito? I shall train both of them and we shall conquer the land of demons. And all this council member was cheering for them. As Jiraiya said, now what should we do about our summonings? That damn demon, he took away our summonings. As Minato said, well, I have lost my summoning as well. There's no way we can do anything about it. As then, Minato had an idea, as he said, well, I do have an idea about it, but it is going to be risky. As Jiraiya said, what do you mean by that, Minato? As Minato said, well, we do have the third summoning of the legendary Sanins, right? As Jiraiya's eyes widened and said, no, how can you think about it, Minato? As Minato said, just hear me out. I say that we invade Orochimaru and then one of us will defeat him and then we shall summon the snake and then told them. And then we will tell the leader of the snake summoning that we are the one who finish off Orochimaru, and then we shall take the summoning of the snakes. As Jiraiya thought about it and said, alright, they may have taken away the summoning, my toad summoning, but I think that I shall be able to make the snake summoning even though I don't like it. But those damn traitor toads, that will tell them. As Minato said, yes, we shall take away the snake summoning. After all, it is one of the legendary summonings. As all of them nodded at that. As for Menma and Mito, in the first 3 months they were quite traumatized, but with the help of Tsunade and all, they were able to overcome, and then the pride and all those factors. And now Menma and Mito, as they were in the Hokage office, as Minato said, alright Menma and Mito, now we shall train to control the power of the 9 tails, and trust me, with that power you shall kill that demon. As Menma said, yeah, how dare that demon, I will kill him, after all I'm the child of prophecy. As Mito said, yeah, I will kill him, how dare he to hurt me. As Menma was quite angry in this time. As Minato said, alright, we shall start training from here on. As all of them nodded at that, and then the training finally begins. As Jiraiya said, well Minato, I have an idea. As Minato said, so what is going to be? As Jiraiya said, well, we can make the other villages to help us. After all, the land of demon is big, and I think that Naruto must be preparing in this time. So with the help of other villages, we can even divide the profit. After all, I have seen the land of demon, even though from the far, but that land has a lot of money and all. As Minato has an evil grin on his face and said, yes, we shall do so. How dare that bitch to cancel our deal? After all, she has done it for that demon and she shall die with him. As Minato had a smirk on his face, as Jiraiya also nodded at that and said, alright, I shall take Menma and Mito and train them for 3 years. As Minato nodded at that, and then Jiraiya, Menma and Mito leave the village along with Tsunade. Or you can say Menma as well as Jiraiya leave the village. As for Mito, she stayed in the village. As for Jiraiya as well as Menma, they started to train in this time, as they even invaded Orochimaru's place, as well as Orochimaru had to flee from there, and then they finally finished their plan to summon the snake contract, and then they were able to make the snake contract with all Jiraiya, Tsunade, and now they have the summoning of the snake contract. As For Menma and Mito, they started to train in this time, trying to control the power of the Nine Tails. For some reason, they were not able to control the power of the Nine Tails because of the severed connection between the soul as well as chakra. And Minato was able to find it out as well as Jiraiya. So they were able to make a new seal since there was no soul. So they just have to make this chakra purify so that it could be controlled. And they were in this time for 2 years they were able to make a new seal. After all, with the help of Kushina and the Uzumaki ruins, they were able to do so that they can enter into the form of KCM. As both Menma as well as Mito has the power of the Nine Tails KCM too. Because both of them had 50-50% chakra. So they were able to enter that state, and both of them were quite confident knowing that now they have the power to kill off that demon, as, or you can say the demon king. As right now Naruto is in his castle as well as with his, you can say, GF, as well as a new woman that is there, and it is going to be the princess of the land of snow. Yes guys, the land of snow princess is going to be aged down a little bit, but I do remember her in the movie. If you guys have seen that movie, so guys, you guys will know about it. So which is going to be the second harem girl for Ano's voldigoad, and he is in the different dimension. Many people told me to summon other 2 girls here, but I did not want to do so because they have already spent their life and it is time for them to rest in the other world. As for Naruto, he is here reincarnated again, so he is enjoying his life. After all, I'm pretty sure that when first time Anos was alive, he did have some wife or something like that. After all, they were descendants, so definitely he would have children as well as wife. But in his second life, he did not care about it, so I don't think that in the third life he will care about the previous ones. So that is that. As far now, the time has passed. In this time, Akatsuki was making its move against the other villages, but they were not able to capture any tail base just yet because of the major problem that was ahead of them, the land of demon. Because this land was actually, as in this time, Menma and Mito were able to, thanks to the seal of Minato and Jiraiya, they were able to make the KCM2 aura as well as they were able to master it. But they saw that how the KCM power was decreasing every time they use it. After all, there was no upcoming source of it. And as Minato and Jiraiya were able to figure out that Naruto must have severed the connection between the soul as well as the chakra. That is why the chakra is depleting every time they use it. And once all the chakra is gone, there is no Jinchuriki for the Leaf Village. As in this time, many nations try to attack or small attacks on the land of demons, but none of these attacks actually made any work for them. After all, this land was actually protected by Naruto, and no one knows what is actually going on in this land. But the trades as well as things were going up, as well as the huge buildings that could be seen from outside in this land, and it seems to be the huge cities and all type of things. So that is that. Now 2 years has finally passed. Akatsuki did not make any move because they were also quite curious about this land of demon type of thing, and they have heard about Naruto's great power, so they wanted to recruit him for their cause, but they were not able to enter into the village. Not even Pain or Obito, trying to use his Kamui, was able to enter into the place, and this really scared him. After all, his Kamui should be the ultimate jutsu, which could not have any alter or any counter to it, but this place was ready, now scaring him a little. So he finally made a plan as he saw that how there was a meeting, the 5 Kage summit. So he made a plan as he saw that how all the nations were going to attack this land so that they could distribute their things in the land. So he finally agreed to a new plan so that when the nations attack with their tail beast will use their power and they will be able to recruit all the tail beasts in this time without any trouble whatsoever. All they have to do to make all the nations believe that they are here to take down the land of demon as well, and they will help them, and then when the opportunity presents itself, they will capture either Menma or Mito or both of them and all the Jinchurikis that were there so that they could actually use their power and just take them away. Easy, right? So now we have a time skip. The time has passed and now we have a 5 Kage summit as Minato and all the Kages arrived as they were sitting in the Kage office. And just to tell you guys that Gaara is not the Kazekage. So that is that. As Minato and all the Kages arrived into the meeting and then they took their seats as then Raikage said, "Alright Hokage, why have you summoned this meeting?" As Minato looked towards Raikage and said, "Alright Abe, I have something to tell all of you guys as all the nations were quite interested in this subject." So they were listening as Minato explained that Naruto, how that he was a demon and he has shown so much powers. As he explained the powers as all the Kages were utterly shocked as someone who could control even the life and death. So they were quite scared about it as Minato explained that how they are able to find out that Naruto is the leader of the land of demons. This really shocked everyone because almost all the villages have tried to enter into the land of demon to see or to conquer it, but none of them were able to do anything. All the shinobis they actually sent to conquer that land, none of them ever returned. So they were quite curious about this land and to hear that an actual demon is actually leading that land. This really scared all of them. And then Raikage said, so you really want me to believe that Yasoka's son is able to do so many things, but if it is really that way, so why did he actually leave the village, Minato? As Minato said, because he's a demon. As then A said, so how did you know that he was a demon? As Minato said, I know that when he was born, the soul of the nine tails was sealed inside of him. So he's a demon. As all the Kages were quite surprised to hear this, as this logic was complete bullshit. As A started to laugh and said, well, that is quite an explanation of a demon that you have made. Then, if you really think that just because that kid has the soul of the nine tails, which made him a demon, right? As Minato said, of course that makes him a demon. As Tsuchikage started to laugh and said, well, I have lived 100, or you can say many years, and I really thought quite highly of you, Minato, but I never took you for a fool that you are. If you think that just because someone holds this soul of a Biju, which makes him a demon, here I thought you are a seal master, that the soul or chakra is just sealed away into the body of one's person. It does not just take over his chakra or his soul. This really surprises Minato because he never gave it any thought Naruto was a demon, and that is that for him. As he started to realize something, as his logic complete seals knowledge of seals, this really does not make any sense. As Minato was now sweating, as Tsuchikage started to laugh and said, well, if that thing make him the demon, then what will make Kushina your wife? She is a demon, right? As Kushina was also there along with Menma, Mito, Kakashi. As Kushina said, how dare you call me a demon? I'm not a demon. As Tsuchikage started to laugh and said, well, then I will call you the mother of a demon, which also makes you a demon, right? As all the Kage started to laugh as Kushina was now sweating. This makes her remember that she was a Jinchuriki and how people actually treated her, and this really shocked her because she never thought about it, because once she married Hokage, she was the wife of Hokage, no one ever called her a demon, and she was the one always calling Naruto a demon. So that is that. As for Menma said, I don't care, I'm the child of prophecy and he's a demon, and if he's not, then how he's able to do all those type of things. As then Mizukage speak up, well, I do not know, I did not knew that the Jinchuriki of the nine tails or soul or power had any type of abilities that you have said. As Minato said, well, that is enough. As Jiraiya said, that is enough. Just tell us, if you don't want to come with us in this war, then we shall conquer the land of demon for ourselves. As one of the Kage started to laugh, or you know, the sand Kage, as he said, well, we never said that. We will come to this war because either this kid is a demon or not, it is none concern of our own. We have our Jinchurikis and we know how we treat them or other villages treat them, and honestly, I do not care. As for me, I'm going to conquer that land so that my village could improve. As all the Kages agree with that and said, well, this definition of demon of yours, Minato, is bullshit. Same as you. As all the Kages started to laugh as Minato was sweating in this time. As Kages were making fun of him. He was a seal master and he does not even know the difference between a scroll and sealing. As Minato was frustrated as well as humiliated in front of everyone, as well as Jiraiya, because both of them were seal masters. As for Kushina, as in this time they started to call her demon mother, or the one who soared, who had the power of the Nine Tails, the soul of the Nine Tails, the previous demon. As this type of word really started to hurt her, as all the Kages left, calling Kushina some demon or things like that. As she was in the end was crying on the floor, as Minato said, "Don't worry, Kushina." As all the Kages agree that they will go on a war, as Minato started to realize his mistake, but he do know that Naruto did declare himself the Demon King, and if this logic does not make him a demon, then what is he and how did he get all of this power? All these questions were in the mind of Minato as well as Jiraiya, who started to think that how did Naruto got all of this power? He couldn't be, as he started to think, no, it is not possible. I can swear Menma is the child of prophecy, not that as he cut himself up and said, "Oh, damn it," as he went off, as Minato was right now in his office, as Kushina, as Jiraiya, as well as Tsunade was there, as Minato said, "Alright, I was wondering if we should actually go on this war or not," as Jiraiya also nodded and said, "Well, I do not know anymore, Minato. I think that we might have overdid it in his life, and it seems that we were quite fools on that." As Kushina said, "Yeah, I have started to realize my mistake, but I don't think that we can go back on it now." As Minato nodded at that and said, "Well, I have already issued the order that we are going on a war against the land of demons, so I don't think that we can actually take it back now." As all of them nodded, and then the elders entered in the office as they explained that how the preparations are ready and they are going to war. As Minato nodded at that and said, "Well, I might not kill Naruto, but we have to conquer that land. That land has a lot of treasures and things like that we need it for our village." As Minato, as Kushina, Jiraiya, as well as Tsunade nodded at that, and now they're ready for the war. The words spread quickly, and then a new meeting was made as the five Kages were planning their attack and all, and suddenly something started to warp in the, or should I, nah, just forget about it, or let's just say that a masked man, or let's just say, yeah, Pain entered in the office as everyone was shocked when they saw the Rinnegan, as all the five Kages were now quite shocked to see this guy with the Rinnegan. As Pain said, "Calm down, Kages, I'm not here to kill or attack any one of you." As one of them said, "Yeah, you're a Katsuki, right?" As Pain nodded at that. Just to tell you guys that Katsuki has not attacked any villages, and if you guys don't know, many villages had the use of Akatsuki, as they gave orders to Akatsuki to make many missions. So most of the Kages knows about the Akatsuki organization, but they have never seen someone with the Rinnegan. As Minato was also shocked to see this guy, as Pain started to explain that how this village is actually a thread, and they are doing this for their organization, and they will help the five nations on this project. As all the Kages were quite, you can say, suspicious about it, but then Pain explained that how they want only some money for their organization so that they can bring peace to the world. As the five Kages had some bad feeling about this peace thing this guy is actually talking about, but right now they need power, and they're going to get it even if it is from an organization of Rogue Shinobi or Pain, because Pain had the Rinnegan, so it is most likely. And for why Obito did not enter in the arena, because Minato will definitely know that this damn person was the one who separated the Nine Tails, so he's definitely not going to need any help from that guy, and Obito is not going to take any risk because Minato might recognize him this time. So that is that. Now the war is ready, and now we cut off to the land of demons as one of the soldiers entered into the castle and said, "My lord, it seems that the five great nations are ready for war." As Naruto was sitting on his throne, as he said, "So they're finally ready, huh? I was waiting for this opportunity, even though I thought that they might not do so, but it will be fun." As his eyes glowed with red, as Shion said, "So it is time, right?" As Shion said, smiled and said, "Well, I have seen something in my eyes." As Naruto said, "Oh, so what is that going to be?" As Shion smiled and said, "Well, I see a great future ahead." As Naruto smiled at that and said, "Alright." as he went off. Now we cut back to the war's day, as then 5 Kages were standing with their army as they gave the speech that how they're going to kill off a demon, as the whole leaf side was screaming that they will kill off demon, as while on the other hand the 4 Kages were laughing at the face of Minato, who was sweating as he became a laughing stock in the eyes of all the Kages, as while on the other hand A gave the speech that how this is for their land and how they're going to prosper, as well as things like that. So that is that, and other villages thinks that they are going to conquer this land for the conquest, as well as taking out some demon from the hidden leaf village, as all the other shinobis were laughing at the hidden leaf village as it became a laughing stock, which really embarrassed all the elders and the most intelligent people like Itachi that were there. They started to doubt that why they were even spending their time in the hidden leaf village, but for now they have to work for it. And Naruto is going to do something strange about this all. And then all the armies were ready to attack a single land, as it was a great land as well as a lot of treasures that are definitely going to be there. So they are ready for this war. As well as all the nations were a bit scared about Naruto because all of them at some point tried to attack the land of demons, but none of them were able to do anything about it. That is the main reason they are actually making the 5 nations together to see if this land is actually a threat, or even if it is not, they are going to destroy it, and they do not care. So all the army is now ready, as then they started to head towards a single land. As you can say that there was a big wall, and ahead of it is a land, while on the other side is an army of, you can say, around 100,000. Now how to put it, around 10,000 now, things like that, 50,000 shinobi, maybe that should be good enough. The same number that was in the Great War, the Great Shinobi War. So they are ready as they started to attack, as all the Bijus and Akatsuki was there, and then suddenly they heard a boom that could be heard from all over the place, as they looked back only to see that fire that was spreading from the back of the area they were coming from, as all the shinobis were utterly shocked. The place from which they came from was burning with pure hellfire. There was no going back anymore, only forward, as all the shinobis were utterly shocked. There was no place to go anywhere but to forward, as Minato and all people were shocked, as Minato said, What happened? As shinobis were still confused, and then they suddenly sensed the bloodlust that was just radiating from the area, as most of the weaker shinobi were gasping for air. They were on the ground, as Minato, all the Kages looked upward to see a person flying, as his eyes were glowing, as they were now sweating. They were able to withstand this bloodlust, but they were sweating hard, as all the shinobis could see the person that was just flying in the air, as Naruto speak up and said, well, it seems that all the peasants are finally here. You guys are here to attack my home, huh? Even though I never attacked you people, you guys are trying your best to attack my home over and over again, but I never retaliated about it. This is the most frustrating thing I know about this world. People like you are annoying, really, as all the Kages that were there and said, we are not scared of you, you demon. It is time for you to die, and we shall conquer this place. As Naruto said, conquer. As he started to laugh, as he said, started to descend into the ground and said, well, it seems that you guys are here to conquer this place, right? For what reason that is? As one of the Kages speak up and said, yes, we are here to conquer this place. You are a threat to the shinobi villages, and now we shall take you out. We have all our forces in this place. As Naruto said, oh really? All of your forces are here, and you have left your own villages without any security, and you guys have came here. How foolish. As all the Kages met with the realization, they were utterly shocked, as A said, what are you talking about, you brat? As Naruto said, well, you guys has used all of your forces to come here, and you have left your villages quite open, while on the other hand my forces are already going towards your villages. Now let's see that what will actually happen, as A gritted his teeth and said, "How dare you!" as he powered up into his lightning armor as he rushes towards Naruto with incredible speed. But before he could even reach Naruto, he was slammed into the ground as all the Kages, just you can say all the shinobis that were there, just simply blinked for a moment, and the next thing they saw that A was on the ground as Naruto was sitting on him. They were utterly shocked. It was even faster than Minato's flying Raijin. As Minato said, "What? Naruto, what did you do?" As Naruto said, "Well, I did nothing, to be honest. It was just really easy." As Minato said, "Naruto, how dare you to attack my village, my hidden leaf village?" As all the Kages were saying the same thing, as Naruto started to laugh and said, "Well, I was not the first one to attack anyone. You guys are the one who are attacking my village, and you expect me to forgive yours? While your forces are out, I'm conquering those places right now." As all the people that were there were utterly shocked, as Naruto said, "Well, bring it on. I'm ready for any challenge." But before Minato could do anything, all of them heard Rasengan as they saw a big giant Rasengan was rushing towards Naruto. Naruto just simply smirked as he vanished from the area, but to everyone's shock as well as scared, it was Menma who was using the Rasengan as Naruto moved so fast as it was only the Raikage that was on the ground. As he opened his eyes, as he saw the big Rasengan as it was slammed into the Raikage, as all the shinobis were utterly shocked as Menma said, "Did I got that demon?" As they saw it was the Raikage on the ground, dead. As everyone was utterly shocked, Minato said, "Menma, what have you done?" As Menma said, "Huh, what?" As all the cloud shinobi said, "The son of the Hokage has killed Raikage." As everyone could heard it, they were utterly shocked as the cloud shinobi started to attack the hidden leaf shinobi as it was a pure chaos in the battlefield. As Naruto started to laugh, as Menma was sweating, as Minato was utterly shocked. All of their planning was now going to hell as they were fighting amongst each other. The cloud shinobi even started to attack the stone shinobi, and all those shinobis started to fight off against each other. Just to tell you guys that they were not united in the first place to begin with. Like 4th grade shinobi war, you know, the Gaara's grand speech, that type of thing never happened. So all of them still had resultant, you can say, hatred for each other. So they were not buying it in the first place, and right now they are fighting like, you know, how to put it, whatever. As Minato was now angry as he said, "You," as for Menma looked towards Naruto, "You damn demon," as he rushes towards Naruto as he entered into his KCM2. As Naruto raised an eyebrow and said, "Well, this is interesting." As Naruto grabbed the Rasengan that was coming towards him, as he simply crushed the Rasengan like it was nothing, as it was shattered into small shining pieces. As Menma said, "It's time for you demon, to die. I have been prepared in this time for you, and now you shall pay for it." As Naruto said, "Oh really? You really think that the tiny powers of yours is going to do anything against me?" As Menma said, "Yeah, my power is far greater than yours, you demon, and yeah, you are here for a surprise." As then Menma, as Naruto sent someone behind him, it was none other than Mito, as she was rushing towards Naruto. As Naruto saw that how she entered into the KCM2 as well, as she was trying to punch Naruto with her full power, as Naruto just simply smiled at that, as Mito slammed her face into the face of Naruto. As most of the hidden leaf shinobi were happy that were not fighting right now because the other villages are right now fighting. As Tsunade said, "Yes, Mito has finally got him." But to everyone's surprise, as they thought that Naruto must have sent flying. But when the dust cleared, Naruto was just standing there. As Mito's eyes widened, Naruto did not have any scratch on his face. As Naruto looked towards Mito and said, "Well, that was truly impressive, but too bad, it's not going to work, Mito." As Naruto flipped her on her head, as she was sent flying into the crowd, as she was slammed into the Cloud Shinobi, as Cloud Shinobi said, "Now you die, you leaf scum," as he was about to kill her off. But then Minato arrived as he killed off the Cloud Shinobi. As Cloud Shinobi got even more angry as they started to attack the leaf shinobi, as it was a pure chaos in the battlefield. As Naruto said, started to laugh and said, "Well, what a shinobi alliance you guys have. So much for the alliance. But of course, greed is curse, you know." as Minato was glaring at Naruto. Suddenly, the chain started to rush towards Naruto with incredible speed as it started to wrap around Naruto as it was none other than Kushina. As Kushina said, "Alright Naruto, just give up. We shall take the power of the land of demon. Don't worry, we will not kill you. Just give up already. You cannot win against us." As Naruto started to laugh and said, "Well, should these chains do anything?" As Kushina said, "Yes, they will take away your chakra." As Naruto started to laugh and said, "Well, this tiny jutsu of yours works. You know, the two-way around. If it can actually take away my chakra, then..." As Naruto grabbed the chains, then Kushina felt something as her chakra started to get depleted. As she said, What is happening?" As Naruto said, "Well, I can take away your chakra as well." As Naruto started to absorb the chakra of Kushina, as Kushina tried her best to cancel out the jutsu of the chains, but she was not able to do anything because the chains were not just disappearing or anything. As Naruto took away all the chakra that Kushina had, as she got knocked out right there and then. As Tsunade said, "Kushina," as she ran up to Kushina and started to heal her. As Kushina opened her eyes and said, "Damn it, I don't feel my chakra," as she got knocked out once again. As Tsunade started to heal her, as she finally took Kushina away. As for Minato, he spread his kunais and then started to fight off against Naruto. As the other Kages arrived as well, as Tsuchikage said, "Damn it, our forces are not hating us. Damn this Naruto, this brat," as he tried to use his particle style. As Naruto was wrapped in the particle, as you know, the particle style cube. As Tsuchikage smiled and said, "Alright, it's time for you to die." As he used his particle dismantle jutsu, as everyone saw that how Naruto just simply disappeared. As Tsuchikage started to laugh, thinking that the thing is done. But to everyone's surprise, Naruto appeared out of nowhere. As Naruto said, "Well, what should that supposed to do, you old fool?" As Tsuchikage was utterly shocked and said, What? What did you do? How is that even possible? I used my particle style. No one can survive from that. Not even Madara Uchiha." Naruto said, "Well, I do not care who this Madara guy actually is. But, old fool, it is time for you to rest now. Too bad. Be gone." As Naruto's eyes glow with red, as Tsuchikage's eyes widen as he was in the same cube as Naruto actually was. But before Tsuchikage could do anything, a punch was slammed into the cube, which shattered the cube. As Naruto said, "Oh, well, who it is going to be now?" As he looked back to see it was Mito who came back. As she said, "I will kill you, you demon." As she made a Rasengan in her hand and then used the cube's hand to stretch the Rasengan, trying to slam it to Naruto. Naruto just simply smirked as his eyes widened, or you can say eyes glowed, and then suddenly Tsuchikage was the one who was in the field of attack. As everyone saw that how Mito has slammed the Rasengan into the Tsuchikage, as Tsuchikage was slammed into the ground as it was a giant Rasengan. So Tsuchikage died as all the rock shinobi started to scream and then started to attack the hidden leaf village. As they started to attack, kill each other. As for Mizukage, as for Sand, they were utterly shocked. Two of the Kages died by the hands of Hokage as they glared at Minato, as Minato was sweating. As he said, "What? This is because of him." As both of them said, "Minato, it's going out of hand. Your sons or your children's are out of hands." As Minato said, "Damn it, I will take care of him." As he flying right into Naruto, trying to slam the Rasengan, but Naruto simply vanished. As Minato was eyes widened, he was at the back of Naruto, ready to slam the Rasengan, but the next thing he saw that a blade was coming from his chest. As he was utterly shocked, as Naruto was behind him with his eyes glowing. As Minato met with a kick as he was slammed into the nearby mountain. As Minato was bleeding from his stomach as well as bleeding from his head. As Tsunade said, "What? Minato?" As she started to run towards Minato, trying to heal him as well. As for other Kages, as Mizukage said, "Alright, water style, water dragon," as if from the nearby lake, a water dragon started to rush towards Naruto. Naruto just simply smiled, and then the water dragon stopped at the face of Naruto and then started to rotate around Naruto. As Mizukage was utterly shocked as the water dragon came at the back of Naruto and then roared, and then suddenly the lightning could be struck in the water dragon as it started to grow, as it became a big dragon of water with the lightning inside of him. As Mizukage said, What is going on? As then the water dragon rushed towards the Shinobi Alliance as it was slammed in the middle, as most of them got electrocuted with it, and most of them were unconscious, as Mizukage was utterly shocked because the area where it was mostly hit was that of Rock Village, as Rock Shinobi started to get angry as they saw that how it was the attack of Mizukage, so they started to attack the Hidden Mist Village again, as most of the shinobi villages are right now fighting among each other, as Naruto started to laugh, and then suddenly they heard the Biju Dama, as it was the 8 tails, as the Biju Dama started to head towards Naruto as well as the village, as Naruto just simply smirked as his eyes glowed as the tail beast bomb came into nothing, as it became nothing more than a small ball, as Naruto grabbed the Biju Dama, and then with a single flick of his finger the attack was dispersed, as it was the 8 tails, as 8 tails started to say that tell other tail beasts that how they are going to fight among this guy with this guy and defeat him. He's the reason for all this killing, as all the Bijus agree with that, as they started to rush towards Naruto using their full power. As Naruto said, well, it's going to be fun, as Naruto made a single hand sign and then slammed his hand into the ground and said, 9 tails, demon, fox, and then suddenly there was a poof of smoke as a big beast was right now standing in front of everyone. They were utterly shocked, they were already scared to see 8-tailed beasts that were there, and now a big fox, not any fox, this was the 9 tails, but not any 9 tails. This 9 tails has a 2 horns on his head because of being living in the Demon King. The 9 tails power increases a lot, as well as he also adopted to the demonic powers of Naruto, or you can say Ano's voldigoad, as it was even bigger than the original 9 tails. As all the Bijus were utterly shocked because Kurama, or the 9 tails, was not just releasing the chakra but also the demonic powers, as they were utterly shocked as the 8 tails said, Kurama, how is that even possible? I sense your chakra in those 2 brats. As Kurama looked towards 8 tails and said, you dare defy me, the king of all Bijus, you guys shall pay. As all the Bijus were right now sweating hard, as Kurama with a single flick of his 9 tails, as all the Bijus were slammed into the ground, as Kurama made a tail beast bomb, as it was slammed into the tail beast, as they were all knocked out. As then suddenly Tobi arrived as he took away all the Bijus that were there, as for Menma and Mito, they were angry and said, hey you demon, how did you get the power of the 9 tails? We are the one with the power. How did you get it? As Kurama glared at Menma and Mito, both of them started to went back, as all the shinobis could see the beast as they started to run, but they were still killing each other, that is that. As Naruto started to laugh as he landed on the head of Kurama and said, well, this is totally pointless. If you guys really want, I can simply destroy you if I actually wanted it. But now, it is getting boring. You guys are just fighting among each other. Now it is time for me to end your sufferings. As he glared at all of them, as all of them could feel the bloodlust, as Naruto looked towards Menma and Mito and landed in the ground and said, alright, brother, sister, now come at me with all the power you guys have. Trust me, I will not use the power of Kurama, just my own power. As Menma said, you damn demon, you are just using tricks and dolls. Now it is time for me, the child of prophecy, to kill you off, you little demon. As he started to rush towards Naruto with incredible speed with the Rasen Shuriken in his hand, along with Mito, as both of them were using their Rasen Shuriken, as both of them then throw both of their Rasen Shurikens at Naruto as it was heading towards Naruto with great speed, as Naruto just simply smirked at that, and then suddenly both of these attacks simply vanished in front of Naruto, as both Menma and Mito were utterly shocked. Naruto said, well, a good technique that is, but let's see if you can handle that. As both Menma and Mito looked upward only to see several Rasen Shurikens that were on the, you can say, air, as most of the shinobis were fighting right now among each other. Naruto said, well, let's see what will happen when the child of prophecies would actually attack their own people. As when Menma and Mito discovered the Rasen Shuriken, they showed it to the whole village because they wanted to show off that how strong they are, so that the village know that how Menma and Mito are going to kill off the demon with the help of this jutsu. Suddenly, the 5 Russian shurikens that were on the sky or even more started to rush towards the hidden leaf shinobis. As shinobis were utterly shocked, they realized whose jutsu it was, but before they could say anything, most of the Russian shurikens were slammed into the people itself, and then one of them said, "What? Why? The child of prophecies are attacking us!" As most of the hidden leaf shinobis were utterly shocked that why Menma and Mito used their most powerful jutsu against their own shinobi. As one of the shinobi speak up, "Yeah, I always knew that they were demons as well. After all, they had the power of the demon. They must have become the demon." As most of them started to agree with that, as all of them started to scream at the name of Menma and Mito, that how they are traitors and all. As both Menma and Mito were utterly shocked for one moment. Before coming to this war, they were the heroes of the village, and now most of the shinobis were calling them demons and all. And how both of them are the daughter and son of the demon Kushina. As Kushina also heard it, that how the people also started to call her demon and all. As Minato arrived and said, "Calm down, we have a fight, we have a war to win. It is not time for this all." As one of them said, "Look, the demon lover." As Minato was utterly shocked. He never ever thought that in his own village, the village he protected his own life, will call him a demon lover and all. As Minato said, "What did you say to me?" As one of them speak up, "Yeah, your son is a demon. That Naruto guy is a demon. Your wife is a demon. I bet the other two also a demon. They were also demons after all." As Minato was utterly shocked, as Naruto started to laugh and said, "Well, so much for the Hokage and his family. Way too pathetic." As he started to fly in the air, and then he suddenly saw a force that was coming towards him. As Naruto simply dispelled the force, it was none other than Pain. As he entered into the arena and said, "Well, I do not care about this shinobi alliance. It is time for me to end your life. You are way too dangerous. Now I shall end you." And Naruto said, "So who you might be now?" As Pain said, "I'm Pain." And then the Akatsuki landed in the group Kisame, all the people that were there, not Itachi, because Itachi is right now busy trying to spend off other shinobis who are trying to attack him, as well as Sasuke, who are trying their best, as both Sasuke as well as Itachi had the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. So it is time for them as they entered into their Susanoo mode and then finish off several shinobis of the Cloud Stone. This put Hidden Leaf Village permanently against the Cloud as well as the Stone Village. As Itachi said, "Alright Sasuke, we should go. Do not kill any one of them. They are our allies." As Sasuke said, "As if I care. I'm an Uchiha elite, and they shall know their place." As Sasuke made a big fireball as he started to attack the waterfall, all those villages alliance. As Itachi said, "Damn it Sasuke, what are you doing? You are putting us even more danger." As Sasuke said, "I do not care. I'm an Uchiha elite." As he started to attack the Shinobi alliance and all, as Itachi was utterly shocked. His brother was a pure fool, and there is no denying that most of the Uchihas were dead thanks to the attack of Sasuke, as well as the Susanoo food was killing off many people even from the Hidden Leaf Village, as most of the Hidden Leaf Village started to call Sasuke the traitor, as he was just stepping on many shinobi, as Sasuke was just laughing. You know, Sasuke's addiction to power and all, that type of laugh. As Naruto also started to laugh and said, "Well, it is quite hilarious to see most of you people here trying to attack my village, not even caring about your own village, and on top of it now you're standing on the doorstep of my village or my city or kingdom, whatever you want to call it, and now you're fighting among yourselves. Quite childish, to be honest." As he was floating in the air, as Itachi rushed towards Naruto trying to seal him away, Naruto said, "So-called sealing, As Naruto flipped his finger, as Itachi was utterly shocked as the Susanoo was shattered into pieces, as he was sent flying into the wall, as Sasuke was, swinging his sword, trying to kill off some of the shinobis who were trying to attack him. Suddenly, Itachi met with the swing of the Sasuke's sword as he was killed off right there and then, shocking most of the Uchihas that were there. Itachi was the most loved Uchiha in the Uchiha clan, because Uchiha massacre never happened, but Sasuke Uchiha has killed off his older brother Sasuke Uchiha. This brings most of the hatred towards Sasuke, as most of the Many people were now calling Sasuke traitor and all, as Sasuke finally started to realize what he has done. He saw the body of Itachi as he was utterly shocked at what he has done. As Naruto started to laugh in this time as he said, well, it's quite hilarious. But I have other things to deal with, especially you guys. You guys are quite annoying. As he descended into the ground as all the Akatsuki surrounded Naruto as Kisame said, alright, now feed me your chakra, as he rushes towards Naruto, trying to swing his sword as Naruto grabs Samehara as Kisame said, now your chakra is mine. But suddenly Kisame was grabbing the sword. Suddenly you can say as the thrones came out of the handle of the Samehara as Kisame was utterly shocked as Samehara was going to Naruto. As Naruto started to pet Samehara as Samehara was being pet by Naruto as Kisame was utterly shocked as he said, Samehara, you traitor! As Naruto started to laugh and said, well, so much for the loyalty. That is, as Kisame said, you damn, as he started to rush towards Naruto, trying to use his most powerful jutsu. As Naruto said, be gone already. As he said, almighty push. As Pain's eyes widened, as Kisame was sent flying so far away, even far from the full power, almighty push of the Pain, as Kisame was slammed into the nearby mountain and then he was killed off. As all the Katsuki members were utterly shocked. As then Hidan as well as Kakuzu arrived and said, we are immortal, now it is time for you to die, you are way too dangerous. As both of them rushed towards Naruto, Naruto just simply smiled and said, immortal you say? Let's see if you can handle this. As Naruto made a single hand sign and said, well, let's see if you can handle this. As suddenly the ground in which they were running started to melt as both Hidan as well as Kakuzu's eyes widened as Hidan tried his best to vent out, but all the ground, all the nearby area, they even tried to jump away, but nothing was working. As it was a great potion, as most of the Katsuki members ran away and most of the shinobis that were there, but the molten lava, or you can say a hole, arrived out of nowhere in the ground, and from down it they could feel hear screams of people as well as the hellfire that was burning in that place, as all the Katsuki members and most of the shinobis who could watch this were utterly shocked as both Hidan and Kakuzu went into the hole as they were screaming and the chains were pulling them downward. As then the hole shut down as Pain's eyes widened and he said, what did you do? As Naruto said, well, no place other than hell, you know. If they are so immortal, they will enjoy the torturing there. Trust me on that. As Pain said, you damn demon, as he rushes towards Naruto, trying to use his power and the other parts. As Naruto said, you like that technique, don't you? Almighty push, you say? As his eyes widened as he opened. As he closes his eyes and then he opened them, and suddenly they could not move as the magic circle appeared out of nowhere. All the parts of Pain's were there. As Pain's eyes widened and said, what did you do? As Naruto said, nothing much, I just manipulated gravity here and you can not move, more like paralysis. As Pain said, let me go, you damn demon. As then suddenly one of the now how to put it, Dedra started to use his blast as that, alright, the art is explosion, as he releases several bombs at Naruto. Naruto just simply smiled as these were the big birds and all type of things. As Naruto said, alright, let's see. As Naruto's eyes glowed with red as suddenly all the birds of clay that were coming towards Naruto rushes towards the parts of Pain's as Dedra's eyes widened as parts of planes were exploded with a big explosion. Most of them were sent flying as one of the healing one tried to heal others, but Naruto simply arrived as he cut off his head, knowing well about these bodies are just fake ones, as the healing path was dead and the other ones were barely hanging on. As Naruto said, well, have a treat. As Naruto pointed his finger upward, and then all the Akatsuki saw a big sun was coming heading towards them as their eyes widened. As Pain said, almighty push. He tried his best to use almighty push, but a small sun was rushing towards Akatsuki members who tried to escape, but then suddenly they feel that they could not move as all the Shinobi Alliance saw a big sun was rushing towards all of them as they tried to run away or things like that, but they were not able to do so because the path from which